Thank you,
So,
sir.
Vote in support.
yeah, thank you so much. Thank you very much. So, so this session is would you invest in your own startup? So you need to an Ask an Angel session on the fundamentals investors look for beyond the pitch. So I'm not teaching you finance here today. So don't think of seeing how to present, what's it called, how to develop models. No, it's what investors look out. That's what I'm going to be speaking about. So the agenda is simple, why this question matters, how investors think, the decision quality framework, the invest framework, and what investors look for beyond the pitch. Then we'll go to this pitch feedback and Q&A. So let's start with a real question. Would you invest your own money in this business, in your own business currently? So will you trust the founder? Does the business model make sense to you? And can your business scale sustainably? Sorry, I can't see any other screen apart from the screen I'm sharing. That's where I am now. So, and I hope you're not seeing multiple tabs. Please, you can just speak to let me know.
No, we can see you perfect. We can see your slides perfectly fine.
Okay, that works. Okay, so I just need people to just reflect on these questions. Like, if somebody was pitching your business to you, is this something you would be willing to invest in? So that's what this question is about. You reflecting on your business and trying to think about it. That if you yourself were not the founder of the business and somebody else comes to pitch your business to you, will you be willing to invest in your own business? So I'm part of a particular community. It's a finance community, but it speaks more about wealth. And the lady wrote a post on LinkedIn sometimes ago and was like, okay, that would she invest in her own business if she was, just this question I'm asking, would she subscribe to the business that she's working on if she was not the founder? And her question was yes, and she just stated the reasons why she felt it was going to be a yes for her. She said that, okay, yes, there are small bites things for people to understand finance in smaller. So she teaches different things in different ways. Every day she sends a prompt to the community in small ways that you can understand different parts of finance. And she picks a topic or a theme for the month. So this month now, the theme is about, this month is about insurance and wealth. Is trust, yeah, trust. If I can remember correctly, is trust. So how can you leave things behind after you've gone? How can you secure everything you've worked for? Because it's a what's it called? It's a finance community where you learn how to build wealth, create wealth, and preserve the wealth. Most people know how to build, most people know how to create, but most people don't know how to preserve. So that's what she does, just a question and a simple answer. And she was like, because of that and because of other things that she does in the community, it is something she'll be willing to invest in. So I want all of you that are on this call now, think about your business model, the problem you're trying to solve, the solution you're trying to solve. Is it something that if somebody comes to pitch to you, will you be willing to invest in that business? So raising capital is not the goal. Building a business worth investing in is the goal. So how do investors think? Investors don't only evaluate pitches, they are evaluating judgments. They evaluate the people first, they look at the founder. So before an investor backs you up, they look at the kind of person you are. Can you, as a founder, can you execute? Can you learn? Can you adapt? And investors are really interested in people that can learn. Because if you can't learn, that means if you're someone that knows everything and you're not willing to learn, you're not open to learning, unlearning, and relearning things, founders won't back you up. So you have to have a learning mindset and you have to be able to adapt to things. Problem is the pain significant enough to create a demand. So what problem are you trying to solve? Is it something that can create demand? There are many, there are many solutions you can provide as a business owner. But is it going to create a demand? Is it something that can scale if you take it to market, if you go to the market? Can you scale the problem you're trying to solve? Or do you think the problem is just maybe because you just had a challenge with something? And I can give you a few examples. Because somebody was not able to take because of the increase in kidnapping, somebody decided to found a bus hailing ride system that takes people from a particular point to another point. That's a problem that people have, and people are subscribing to it and they use it. A lot of people in Lagos now, some people that are even executives, tell you that they don't drive. They try to call driving time. They can use that driving time to either read a book and do other things. And they go with that because it is safe, it is conducive and all. And you have a particular point that you'll be picked up from. That's a problem that is being solved. And is it going to create demand? Yes, they are creating demand because I believe they keep increasing based on the demand they are getting. Model, does the business create and capture value? Does your business create and capture value? You need to be able to answer that question. The money, do the numbers reveal discipline and realism? There are different kind of numbers. And I know when founders come to pitch and I'm there and I'm looking at some things and I'll be saying it in my mind already that no, this person is not convincing enough to me. I don't think I can back this person. So I ask further questions to probe and think, okay, just to clarify my assumptions. And once the person is not able to answer those questions the way I expect, then I don't think the numbers you have is real. So the thing is about numbers is you can be very, very, what's it called? You can even prepare a forecast based on your future or your future goal, or what you feel the business can achieve. But how realistic is it? If you say you are going to expand you're just starting up and you want to expand all across Africa at the same time, you've never even tested a particular market or even a particular geography in Nigeria. Maybe, for example, you're sitting with Lagos. You now say you want to move from Lagos to 36 states at once as a founder. You're just starting. You've never even tested the Lagos market to see how real it is for people to buy into the idea you're selling or to buy into the product or the problem you're trying to solve. But you just want to expand. That way, I can't believe that business is going to be realistic because you're just giving me the numbers, projections just to get my funds. But if you show me the realistic thing that you feel you're doing, then yes, I would think about it and look at that. Okay, yes, it's possible to be able to back you. So financial models don't convince investors. Financial models don't convince investors. I'm saying it again. It's the thinking behind the model that does. So if you think you have a financial model and you say that your MRR is going to be 10K per month, and currently you're not even doing up to 1K, how do you plan to scale from less than 1K to 10K per month? Is that realistic? So before you can convince investors, because they look beyond what you say, tell them, and they think critically as you're speaking to them. So we have the decision quality framework. 4 decisions investors are silently evaluating. They are evaluating the problem decision. Did you choose a problem that truly matters? They are evaluating a model decision. Did you design a business model that can make money? Your resources, are you using capital, time, and talent wisely? Imagine you starting a business today. You don't have any demand. You don't have anything. You have recruited the whole of Lagos to become your employees. How are you going to be paying them their salaries? How do you manage the time that you currently have to be able to prioritize everything that is important for your business to grow? So growth decision, can you make better decisions as complexity increases? Because most times people are able to manage a small business, but when they start growing, are you able to manage the business as it starts growing or scaling? So investors fund the quality of decision that builds the businesses, not just the ambition behind it. If you have an ambition that you are going to be the person you are going to be the largest organization in Africa, it's an ambition. But it is when you have quality decisions that can actually generate that business. If you look, there are a lot of great businesses in Nigeria that are coming out of Nigeria. We know examples of the big, the fintech spaces. We have Flutterwave. We have Flutterwave. We have Money Points. Yeah. So we have some of those places that are doing so well already. So, and if they don't say they are going to take over the whole of Africa, people would back them because they already have the metrics and they already have a lot of things that are working in their favor, basically. So the invest framework. So I designed this framework for this purpose and for this class. So a practical lens for building and investment-ready businesses. So I is for important problem, N is for numbers. Are the assumptions believable? Value, why will customers choose and stay? Executes, can the founder deliver and adapt? Scale, can growth happen sustainably? We hear sustainability every time, right? Sustainable growth. Then trust. Will you trust this founder with your capital? So use this before you fundraise. Anytime you want to go for, what's it called? Want to go and pitch to investors, look at this invest framework. And sorry, Dara, see me. Go inside. No. I have my assistant with me here. So use this before fundraising. Is pressure test whether your startup deserves investment beyond the pitch. So every time you look at this, so we'll go into detail. So the first one is the important problem. So if your solution disappears tomorrow, will you genuinely miss it? These are questions to ask. So the investors' questions are, is the pain urgent or just merely interesting? You know, there's usually a timing thing in when you go to market. So there are times that you start up a business. So I was reading Vantage. I read Vantage last month, and I noticed that Piggyverse didn't start as Piggyverse. It started as Push CV. So I think at some point, they realize when people get a job, they don't need to come to them again for the Push CV thing. So they were talking about it. Okay, what could we create that would make people always come back? And they thought about it. Okay, when people want to like make money, have money, and all that, and they created a platform called Big Piggyverse, and now they are 10 years old already, and they celebrated that recently. So is the pain urgent or merely interesting? Who has the strongest need? What are they doing today instead? Is the problem large enough to build around? So these are some of the questions that investors will be asking in their mind. So they found that some of the evidence you can provide, if you have customer interviews or pilots, that would help them know if the pain is urgent. If you have usage, repeat demand, or wait lists, that's an evidence from your part. If you have clear customer segments, you can't say that the whole of Nigeria are going to be your customers. It won't work. Even if you are selling water, some people prefer to take sachet water, some people prefer to take bottled water. So you can't say the whole of your, I know water is something that everybody consumes. So even if everybody consumes water, people will still open the tap and fill their cup from the tap. They will drink tap water. So they will not still buy your water. So everybody can be your customer. So you need to clearly segment your customers. Then problem-led market sizing. Ensure that your market sizing has a problem that is solving. So a clever solution is not enough. Investors want a problem that creates demand. So any problem that can create demand is something that would attract investors to your business. So we have N, numbers. So investors don't expect perfect forecasts. They expect defensible assumptions. And I tell people about these what's it called? Numbers part. Investors will invest in you first before they even invest in your financial models or numbers. Because especially if you are still at the ideation stage, if you've not started any business yet and all, before anybody will be able to be investing in you, they will invest in you as a person before they even look at the financial projections that you have. Once they believe you are a trustworthy person, you are a great person, and you are someone that is coachable, yes, they will be willing to back you. But for numbers, the specifics is revenue logic. Your customers multiplied by price and frequency. That gives you your revenue. Direct cost and gross margin, it must be very clear. What are your direct costs? What is your gross margin? Operating expenses and cash runway, very important, your cash flow. Then use of funds and milestones. So you must be able to defend why you are having this growth rate. So if you say you are going to grow this percentage month on month or year on year, you have to be able to defend the growth rates. What evidence are you using to support your pricing? What cost increases with scale? So as they are scaling, which component of your cost are going to be increasing? Because you have some part of your cost that is fixed, while the other parts are variable, depending on what you're doing. So which of your costs will be increasing with scale? What assumptions could fail? You need to be able to defend all those things before you go and pitch to an investor. So the spreadsheet is only as strong as the assumptions the founder can explain. If you can't even explain the spreadsheet you are presenting, or you don't understand the things behind your spreadsheets, no founder will trust your financial model and back you up. And before you even go, you need to have a clear business. You need to understand the business or the problem you're trying to solve and the solution you're trying to provide before you go into to pitch any investor. So V value. A business model explains how value is created, delivered, and captured. So value created is what customer pain do you remove? Like the boss example I gave, a lot of people are scared of kidnapping and all those things. All those things are rampant these days. So they rather go with a trustworthy boss ailing service that is an organization than go with the regular danfo bosses and all. What measurable outcome improves? So what measurable outcome can you say is improving with the solution you're trying to provide? Why is the solution better than alternative? So if you want to come now and say you want to develop an ERP, what about all the other existing ERP? What better solution is your software as a company, your SaaS solution? What better solution is it going to do against all the existing competitors? Then what makes customer stay? So the value you can capture is who pays, how much do they pay, how often do they pay, can pricing improve with value? So when you give more value, can you increase your price based on the more value you're providing for the people? So users are not always customers. Make clear who benefits, who pays, and why payment will continue. I gave an example of PiggyVest. When they decided as Push CV, they were not seeing the clear path for payment to continue with Push CV. So they switched to PiggyVest, where they have people coming back to invest and to invest and to invest and to have kind of financial discipline, basically. E is for execute. At early stages, investors often back the founder as much as the business. So they will back you first before they back your business. So signals of founder quality, clarity of thinking, ability to learn from evidence, speed of execution, and honesty about risk and gaps. One question I hear a lot when I'm listening to pitches is they ask you, what are the risks? Have you been able to identify? If you say your business has no risks, that's a lie. There is no business in this world that does not have a risk. Even the top organizations, there's a risk. And there are some gaps also. So signals of execution readiness, you have clear milestones, you have right team, or you have hiring plan. You don't need to have the complete team at the beginning, but you know when to get the next person on board. So you are also able to manage your cash flow with that. Operational discipline, decision making under constraints. So ideas evolve and market changes, but execution quality is what carries the business through uncertainty. Is the way you're able to execute. There are lots of nice ideas on PowerPoint slides. How many of them really get executed? So once you're able to execute, that's what's going to carry your business through uncertainty. So S is for scaling. So the right question is not can revenue grow, but can value grow sustainably? If you are looking at only your revenue growing and you're not creating value for your end users or your customers, then there's a problem. So can revenue grow faster than costs? Do margins improve with volume? These are scale questions to ask. Can system handle more customers? Then what breaks first at 5x growth? When you have your growth at 5 times, what will break first? So you need to check all these things out. Watch out. More users, but weak monetizations. You might have a lot of users, but to monetize might not be so easy. Maybe you start first with a freemium product or something, and you have a lot of users, and you think because of that to turn to money. Sometimes a lot of people are still using free GPT up to today. And once they that they will wait for 4 hours or 5 hours before they are able to continue. Some people will patiently wait. While people will look at it, I don't have that kind of time to waste, and they'll pay a subscription, So high acquisition costs, custom work that cannot repeat. You need to watch out for that. Then growth that increases losses. If you are increasing and a lot of businesses make this mistake. At the beginning and at the growth stage, they focus on only revenue growth. Why they forget other parts of their profit or loss statements. They forget to track gross margin. They forget to look at the major units or products that are giving them higher margins so that they could focus on that to be able to cover costs. So a lot of businesses end up using cost of capital or borrowings to fund the businesses. And they keep saying that we are growing revenue at this pace. We've been growing 20% year on year, while margins are declining and you are using either investors' funds or borrowings from banks and all to fund the business. So growth without unit economics can make a company look bigger while becoming weaker. So you need to be able to track all those things. Track your profitability even as you are beginning the business. Because once you're disciplined with it, you would understand when there's a challenge. If you have costs growing and revenue, if revenue is growing at a lower percentage than the way your cost is increasing, then there's a problem. You need to fix that before it becomes a bigger problem for the organization or for your startup. So T is trust. Will you trust this founder with capital, pressure, and uncertainty? So trust builders, you know the business deeply. You can explain assumptions clearly. You share risk without hiding them. And you connect funding to milestones. Trust breakers, overconfident projections, unclear use of funds, no cash awareness. Cash flow is very important because it's cash flow that you use to run your business. So you need to have a tracking of your cash flow, at least 3 months or 13 weeks or 12 weeks cash flow. You need to have it and be monitoring it. So when your cash is going down, you know the problems to start, you know how to start resolving your problems gradually. Do you need more funding? Do you need to reduce some things? Do you need to cut down your costs? Do you need to increase your revenue? You need to start looking at this, or do you need to ensure that you are getting your, what's it called? Sometimes it might not even be revenue decline that is causing you to be having difficult cash, having low cash flow. It might be maybe because you what's it called? You pay your suppliers in 30 days, while your customers are paying you 60 days. That could impact your cash flow because you're paying your suppliers earlier than when your customers are paying you, basically. So defensive answers to add questions. Don't be too defensive with your answers. So your pitch may win attention, but your fundamentals win conviction. You need to have like a strong fundamental. So common mistakes that founders make. When you're preparing to raise capital, chasing funding before validating the business model. Don't chase your fund. Don't chase getting funding first before you validate business model. If you are confusing users with paying customers, I gave an example of ChatGPT. There are many free customers. If you say all of them will pay, it's not possible all of them pay. Maybe 20% of the entire people that are using ChatGPT will be the one that will end up paying. There's always a percentage of people that will end up converting to paying customers. So know the percentage for the sector you're in and use and apply that to whatever you're doing. Presenting numbers that cannot be defended. Don't make your forecast to be unrealistic, that even you yourself cannot defend. When they ask you, when they just throw one question at you, it has thrown you off balance. Ensure that your numbers are realistic enough that even you yourself can believe, and if you are the one investing in your business, you can always put your money into it. Ignoring cash flow and unit economics. Cash flow is the lifeline of a business. You don't have cash, you run nothing. If you have revenue, you cannot use you might be able to use revenue to get a loan from a bank. But by the time you keep going back and saying, okay, this is my revenue or this is my revenue projection, at some point, nobody will trust you again to give. So you need to be able to monitor your cash flow at every point in time and unit economics. Then asking for money without clear use of funds plan. You need to have clear use. Do you want to use the money for marketing? Do you want to use to get more employees? Do you want to use it to scale the businesses? Do you want to use it to grow the business? You need to have a clear plan for what you're going to use the fund for before you go and meet any investor to invest in your business. So capital amplifies great businesses, but it really fixes weak fundamentals. So closing reflection, before asking investors to back your startup, ask whether you back it yourself. Thank you. Any questions, comments? So your pitch may win attention, but your fundamentals will win conviction.
Thank you so much, Ayobami, for that very wonderful and insightful presentation. The floor is open for questions. So I guess anybody who's interested or who has any question, can just raise their hands and then we can pick in order with which hands are raised. So yeah, floor is open, guys. Thank you so much.
All right,
Yes, Emmanuel.
before we go on, all right, I didn't see that part coming, but it is happening. I'd like to say a very big thank you to all the other angel investors on this call who just joined in quietly and were following in the conversations. Thank you so much. This was supposed to be Ayobami and the founders, but certainly the angels love the founders, and so a number of you are in this meeting and we're super grateful. Thank you so much. Yeah, I thought to mention that part. Yes, so Ore, please go on.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you to our angels. So I think for first we have Emmanuel Ben. So Emmanuel, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Emmanuel. So I wanted to ask, right, because I know one of the things that matters a lot after you start growing the revenue and all that is basically retention, right? Because retention will define in the long run, it will define how you get your business. It will reduce your cost of acquisition and all that. So I want to ask if you are building like a marketplace, right, where you get to connect two people in order for something to happen before a transaction is complete, and then you get from that. How do you think about retention, and how do you think founders should go about retaining users, especially those who are already been onboarded and those who have been onboarded with some cost in the company, maybe cost you 10 naira, 20 naira, 1,000 naira to get that customer, and then they churn. So I want to know how you think founders should approach retention and how they should think about it and how to retain people in the platform.
Maya muted. Maya muted. Still muted. Yeah.
Okay, so it depends on the kind of business you're doing. So your retention is critical in your, especially in a marketplace, because you're not retaining just one customer group. You know, you must retain everybody. So for a marketplace retention, I don't know what kind of startup you have. Retention is not simply asking whether people remain registered. It's about whether buyers and sellers continue returning to find suitable matches and completing transactions through the platform. So once people find suitable matches in your, in your space, they'll keep coming back and they might even start referring other people to come and try it. So it's about, so once you have a great business and people are enjoying the services you're providing, they'll keep coming back, definitely. If they don't have another person that is doing it better than you are doing it. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yes, it does. So basically, it's the quality of your services and the value you provide.
Correct.
Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you for that answer, Rami. Thank you, Ben, for your question. We have Mr. Chime, whose hand is up next. So, Mr. Chime,
Okay.
the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much. First, let me say a very big thank you to you, Madam Ayobami. I mean, I've not heard it this way before. You are very, very skilled and practical. Thank you very much. So my question is this. So at the time I started a last mile delivery business, and in 6 months, I had scaled. I'd done operations across 18 states in the country. I had only 4 bikes in Lagos. But I had a unique model I was using. I mean, I helped SMEs create since I was just promising them I'll take a business around 18 states, and they were willing to do business with me. And that's in 18 months, in 6 months, I had literally done 5 to 7x the initial. I invested, it was my own capital, it was my money. So take a step backward. If I had wanted to pitch to an angel and I tell them that in 6 to 9 months, I can 5x your money, they won't believe me. So how best do you think I would have presented that to any angel? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Chimeze, for your question. That's very interesting. But the thing is, um, if you've done it before and you are doing the same model again, yes, it is. You already have data. So if you hear a saying, "In God we trust," every other thing bring data. That's the thing. So if you have a strong
Ah,
data, to,
yay. That one is strong, sir.
so if you have data to back it up, for example, in the first 3 months, you already saw some traction. I now come to founders, to angels, to back you, to invest in your business. You bring the first 3 months. This is what you're doing in the first 3 months, and these are the things you've been doing. There's nobody that will hear that you've done this, you've achieved it, and they will say they will not back you up, except you have. So another thing I said initially was you need to have a great. They back you as a person first before they back the founder. Before they back your business, you as a founder, you are being backed first before the business is back. So if they feel that you are someone that is coachable, that's very important, because sometimes it's not just because you have all the metrics that like investors would invest. They will invest in you as a person and also invest in your business. So if you're someone that is not coachable, you're not opening to getting feedback, or they ask you a few questions, you're not able to defend the questions, then it might be difficult for them to back you up. And like I said, that even you yourself, will you trust your business enough to even invest if somebody came to pitch your business to you? So if you can ask yourself that question, do like a reverse psychology and have a look at everything we've discussed, then you think about it. But if you have all the information, all the details, you as a founder, you're coachable, you're someone that is trustworthy, and all, you have some evidences and all. Everybody wants to make more money. Do you understand? But they need to be sure that what they are backing is what they can trust. Does that answer your question, Chimeze? Okay, thank
Yes, it
you.
did. Thank you.
So because we were running out of time, we would need to speed up the questions, and Ayobami help us with more concise answers in Jesus' name. Amen.
Oh my God.
All right, next we have Mr. Brown. Anyone go Brown? Hand is up.
Well, thank you so very much, the entire team of Lagos Angels Network, and thank you, Mr. Ayobami, for this session. That was so wonderful. Um, I really appreciate all the time and the information that was shared. So, my question is on scale. When I, listen keenly, something got to me that I've been thinking about. Right now, we're a healthcare startup. Should I say startup? We already built a long way. We have partners across different areas. We have partners in China. We have partners in India, in Belgium, and we're actually building an infrastructure for medical supplies. Supplies and equipment, and we are pushing as far as to see how we can cover both the south and then move across different regions. So when I got to Ghana, I think that was in June, looking at our model, because we have the infrastructure in terms of tech, because you're using tech to drive supplies. Some persons looked at it and they were like, they want to also be a part of it and to get that to Ghana. I was like, we are still putting things in place, for Nigeria and all of that. So when you mentioned about skill, and I got thinking about it, because they even offered that there's the available warehouse we can use in Ghana, and we are even trying to fix things here. So I was to ask these questions. Um, Initially, we thought of in the next 1 year before we can move to other African nations. But right now, the demand is strong, that we're even looking at maybe in the next 6 months, and we can actually consider that. So, on this regards, what is a candid advice for an experienced business person, on this kind of scenario in terms of skill?
Okay, yeah. So for scaling, one of the most important things to scale is you need to ensure that. So scaling does not just come with it comes with a lot of things. You need the right skills, you need a fund to scale. And another thing is, even if you have ready investors and you have all the people that you have already, you can consider it and scale. I won't tell you not to scale. But the thing is, you need to be sure that as you're scaling, those questions that are on the scaling, like Dr. King already said, I should be fast. That are on the scaling slide, can you answer everything if we're investing in your own business? If you can, yes, you can.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're
All
welcome.
right. Thank you so much, Ayobami. Thank you, Mr. Brown. We
Are
have.
the slides available for founders?
Yeah, I'll share the slide.
Thank you.
Wait.
Thank you.
All right. We have Mr. Aaron White. Sir, your floor is yours.
Okay, thank you so much. Special thanks to Ayobami for the presentation, and thanks to the Lagos Angel Network for putting this together. My question is, how do you get angels beyond the funding? How do you get them to mentor? On paper, you hear a lot of people say, oh, you know what, mentorship will do this and all that. But in reality, some of these investors are busy themselves. So they do not, they sort of like leave the business to you at some point, so they're not really available to mentor. That's one. Two, what would you consider to be a standard equity you would offer investors when pitching at pre-validation? And then three, what would you advise to be the number of angel investors that you should have? Sometimes you have busy investors, say 5, and then because you have these people, decision making is slow. So what will be your advice on that? Thank you. You seem to be muted, man.
You're muted.
So with the last one, the number of angels you feel should be on your what's it called, that should invest in your business. It depends. If you have one angel that can give you all your funding, you could have one. If you have 10 angels that can give you the amount of funds you require, you could have 10. So that one, it depends on the amount of funding you need. But the fact that you have one angel or you have 10 angels does not make a difference. Does not make any difference. The most important thing is, once you have an angel that is backing you, that's the important thing. So it depends on you as a business owner. If one angel can give you your funding, it's fine for you to have one. But if you need more than one person to give you the amount of funding you require, you can have more people. The first question of angels not being available for mentoring, you need to be able to. So people are busy. Everybody's busy. Even you as a founder, you are busy. Do you have all the time to coach your business? What's it called? Your employees? No, you don't have all the time to coach everybody. Sometimes you look for experienced people. But you could always find time to have a meeting with them. Tell them anybody that you feel that can add value to your business. Try to have a conversation with the person, book the person's calendar. You can send a message or something to get the person's attention. I can't remember the second question right now. Can you remind me?
What would be the average investment offer, the percentage offer pre-validation?
So pre-validation, it depends. It could be about 15% or more or less. It's up to you as a business owner. I don't have a particular amount I will give you, but look at your business before validation. How much of it are you willing to give out? Because don't forget, if you are going to get to Series A, you need to be careful the amount of validation you give out at the initial stage. So I'll say no more than 15% for pre-validation. My opinion.
Thank you.
All right. So we currently have Mr. Samuel and C Classic. I think after this, we will move into the pitching section. So Mr. Samuel, sir, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you so much. It's great to be here. Thank you for the presentation so far. So I guess my question would be on validation. You did mention something on validation before asking for funding. So for someone who is building a solution in the energy workforce, I'm building GC Africa, which is practically a digital operating system, infrastructure operating system for talent development, deployment, and validation. right? So we've had some traction because I want to narrow this down to what I'm building. We've had some traction, and we're also in the process of validating. And this is a business that the funding model or the revenue model um, goes from B2C to B2B, right? So, and we're beginning with the B2C part just to generate the demand, right? So, the question I want to ask is, what validation milestone would you think is ideal before you advise anyone to seek for funding, probably pre-seed or something? Thank you.
Are you still at the ideation stage, or do you have some, what's it called, some traction already?
Yeah, I did say we already have some traction. We're already operational. There's traction, and we're currently developing the MVP. But we've been validating without the MVP, like we've been doing some manual validation, and we actually have paying users currently.
Okay. Oh, you have paying users already. Okay, so that's great. People are willing to pay already. Then you already have traction and everything, so you can use that as the beginning point. And you say it's both B2B and B2C. So if you already have B2C, if you already have consumers that are paying, then it's easier for you to switch from having just consumers to having businesses paying for your products. If you didn't have any paying customer already, then that means you need to like start defending the fact that you need people to pay for the businesses. But you already have paying, so you already have some traction. And like I said, your data is what you use to get more things, both from investors and further customers. You tell them this is the kind of solution we're trying to provide. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. So I mean, like the final point would be: would you advise us to proceed to seek for funding in building the next phase?
Yeah, you can, because you already have some things for the beginning phase. So you use that as a if you're trying to scale, you use that. These are the things we've done, and we need to generate more funds to be able to scale to this level. You can ask for funding for that.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, Mr. C Classic.
All right, good evening. Thank you very much for this insightful presentation, and thank you for the opportunity. My name is Emmanuel Abaize. We're building a commerce infrastructure company, enabling customers to shop, enabling customers from different cities, about 18 cities, to shop smoothly from major markets like Lagos market, like Balogun, and get their items shipped to them using third-party logistics like GIG. So we're just an infrastructure company right at the middle of making sure this operation runs smoothly. At the moment, we're still building the core engine, but we have started, we're using a spreadsheet, WhatsApp, and then we have runners, and we're doing 8 to 15 orders every day, and an average order value of 35,000 naira. We want to move we get more demand, and because we have fewer hand, it becomes challenging sometimes. And we want to move that daily order to about 50 to 80. And I'm at that point where we're sitting down to say it's time to raise an angel round, at least, to kick this off. But the question I have is, I've run a business before, so I have some sort of network in different industries, but I'm really careful. So what should we look out for if we were open to raising an angel round? What type of angel should we be looking out for? Should we just say, oh, because I have a friend in oil and gas that can do 10K, the other guy can do 25? You know, it's been a very challenging time for me, especially. So just being able to get the right angel to join us. So what should we be? What type of person, say industry, capability should we be looking at if we are to raise an angel round? And the second is, what type of deals would you be suggesting for such?
Okay, great question, Emmanuel. So the thing about you wanting to scale to other parts and trying to increase the order So what your current revenue for your
No, we're not scaling to other cities. We're just
Okay.
increasing capacity to take more orders. In fact, today we're just doing footwears. We're not able to do bags, we're just doing male footwears because that's the capacity we can carry. Even though we have partnership with importers that do bags, female shoes and other things, but our capacity today can only take footwear. So we just stay where we are and just do that. So we're not trying to go to other cities. People in other cities are the ones making these orders.
Okay, so the first thing you should ask is, what does this business need to prove over the next 12 to 8 months? Which investor can help you get there? Based on the question you asked, that what kind of investment should you get? You say you don't want to just say, okay, let me meet my friend. So if you have a goal for the next 12 months or you can even do 6 to 12 months, and you can look at for the kind of investors that can help you, because this is your commerce infrastructure model. It's a marketplace experience. You might need someone with a marketplace experience that can help you and advise you, someone that had in that space. Because if you go to an oil and gas, the person just has an idea of oil and gas. If the person doesn't have any commerce experience, the person may not be able to give you funding, but the person may not be able to have the desired value that you want to get from the person as an angel to mentor you or to help you in the growth business, to grow the business to where you want it to be. So think about that before you actually get a check from anyone. You can also get check from people that don't have the experience, but if you are certain about what you want exactly, look for people that can help you grow your business to invest in it.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much all for your questions. So I know that there are still some people with their hands up. Mr. Alani, we see you, Mr. Philip, Mr. Shira. We want to quickly jump into the founder pitch segment, and then once that's done, we will have a final question where I will specifically call on you to ask your question. So please just write it down, and don't forget, because we'll be back to that. But before I call up the first founder opportunity, I just want to especially thank and recognize the executive director of the Lagos Angel Network, Dr. King. Thank you, sir, for your support. Thank you for being on this call, and we hope to hear your voice, sir. Your perspective on some of these key issues. All right. So, sir, do you want to say anything? No? Okay.
No, I was listening. I didn't want to interrupt you. Let's get to it. But yeah, thanks.
All right, sir. So first up, we have Mr. Chimezie of Grey Care Health Tech. So Mr. Chimezie, sir, the floor is yours. You have 120 seconds, 2 minutes. So just quickly hit key points. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir, we can. Your time starts now.
Great. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Chimezie Uche. I'm the founder of Grey Care. My team and I are building what we hope to become Nigerian cellular care infrastructure. This is an example of one of the lives we're transforming. Today we have about 50 million plus aged people, 65 and above. Yet elder care is almost entirely informal. Over 7% of this care is provided by untrained family members or domestic workers, urban migration, and then more than 90% of the caregivers lack training, causing burnout and inconsistent care. Demand is rising, but no scalable system exists. That's why we're building a caregiving as a service solution. What most people have is called doctor as a service solution, but doctors can't stay with these beneficiaries 24 hours and above. All right, so we're building this vertical integrated platform that trains, vets, certifies caregivers, matches them to families and institutions, and then deploy them to deliver care as a recurring service. I'm a medical doctor with nearly 20 years of experience as a physician. I've built startups before I even sold on business. I've submitted 2 healthcare startups to raise about 2.5 million USD, built Nigeria's first EMR and also Nigeria's first ECG, online ECG reporting system. That's my team members. Charity, Promise, and Emily Fakerabong as certified social care workers, also certified caregivers. Blessing was with me as my head of operations when I built my first business, last mile delivery logistics. And after 2-3 years, I think we sold that business at about 7x. Comfort, Victor is our product designer, and Comfort manager, marketing and comms. So far, we've been able to train 70 plus caregivers, serve over 10 families, deployed more than 40 caregivers to various places. At the last African Digital Health Summit, our solution was recognized as the third best innovator at the 6th African Digital Health Summit, with over 500 plus entries. At the moment, we've partnered with General Care, mainly with pitched our position. Many people thought General Care is a competitor, but I told them no, General Care is a collaborator. They are also providing service on different points of the value chain. We have other partners, strategic partners, my medicines help also on drug review and all that. We've gotten government validation also. At the moment, we're a strategic partner and vendor to the Abia State Ministry of Poverty Alleviation and Social Protection partner. The government just established a law for senior citizens. We'll be providing care services with them. We have access to like 12,000 senior citizens in the bracket. We're selected into BC Health Academy and Founders Institute Abuja also, and a few programs. At the moment, our partnership discussions covering.
Sir, the time is up, unfortunately. Thank you so much. But I mean, you're able to get your key points. So I will leave the floor open for Ayobami for any quick feedback or questions for Mr. Chimezie. Just as a recap, Mr. Chimezie is building an AI-powered elder care platform that trains vets, deploys, and manages professional caregivers for families across Africa and the continent. So, Ayobami, do you have any feedback or any questions?
Yes. So, how do you make revenue for the business?
Or are you writing him a check? Let's know what we're doing.
So make revenue. Okay, through three processes. So we caregiver trainer certification. We're licensed with we partner with National Institute of Caregivers and the Senior Citizen Center in Abuja. So we give our trainees a certificate in caregiving, diploma certificate in caregiving, sorry. Each person pays about 100,000 for that. And then when you hire a caregiver from our platform, we get a 10% commission on that. We also offer it a service, so live out and live in. For living, we do 200,000 per month. And then for live out, we do 120,000. For a few families who've done that and more, we do that at 300,000. So these are like 3 ways in which we generate revenue. We are hoping to launch our health check plans before by the beginning of Q4. There we'll be able to run comprehensive check plan for these 12,000 plus citizens. Price every year. Sorry, did I?
So what was your MRR currently? What's your current MRR? And what's your gross margin? Do you have that? Do you know that?
Yeah. You just joke on that. It's got the husband. Would have informed me. I think someone's mic is unmuted and interrupting. Facilitators, kindly check.
Yes, I was asking that what's your current MRR and what's your margin? What are your margins like? I don't know if we can hear.
Sachin, is your still on the call?
So this is what we would do because I have the power so to do. This is supposed to be the speed pitch, and it's directly for the 1K challenge or so. Chimezie is not looking for 1K, and more likely going to be at the full Angel House. So I'd rather we use the time for the speed pitches only.
All right. Okay. Okay. So I guess thank you so much, Chimezie, for your presentation. Maybe we would note your questions and send it across to him so that we make sure that gets answered ahead of presentation at the fuller house. So up next we have Mr. Farouk. Mr. Farouk, sir, the floor is yours to present. Just as a reminder, 2 minutes.
Yeah, can you see my screen? Just in case.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah, so I'm Farouk. Sorry, just want to start my timer so I won't snooze. Beautiful. I'm Farouk, co-founder Lena. My mom's a teacher. She taught for about 10, 12 years. taught maths, so that's why I know maths. But turns out not everybody knows maths the way I do. So we built Learner, close the door, all out one. 60 out of 70 Africans lack consistent internet access. So most tools require internet, we require none. The major problem, 9 out of 10 kids in Africa can't do math at the age of 10. And that's like 100 million at like the global stage, right? 35 students to one teacher in most classes in Lagos and across Nigeria. What is Learner? Learner is an offline first air power learning game, meaning think Subway Surfers, Temple Run, or like education in fields. Now, this is built on curriculum, say British, national, or American curriculum, right? It's built into it. We have the games. We also have our AI tutor. So when you play the game, you miss a couple questions, it throws you to the AI tutor, explains it for the kids in their language that they understand. We have the teachers access to, which makes it easier for teachers, auto marks for teachers. They don't have to actually mark, and they can see like breakdown for each topic and each student. Right now, kids play it for 56 minutes rather than, excuse me, now it's 56 minutes, it used to be 45, now it has increased to 56 minutes. We are aiming for 90 minutes. They are practicing their maths 4 times than other people. We are offline, game and curriculum aligned to compared to other people. Pricing, we sell to schools and we sell to parents, right? So parents per month, schools per term or per year. Traction, we have 389 users now, 4 paying schools, 14, one just signed an LOI today. So 14 schools LOI to use us in September, 60% increase in answer accuracy, meaning from when they started to now, the average of users of the kids playing, they are now 60% better. And that's my timer. Okay.
Thank you so much for that, Farouk. Right. Ma, the floor is yours for any questions or feedback from Mr. Farouk.
Yeah, sorry, I have a question. Like, what is your competitive moat as compared to other edutech products out there?
Sorry, let me just turn off my timer. Right, most tools require.
Sorry, we can't take any questions that are not from Ayobami.
Oh, okay, got it.
We can't take any questions that are not for Ayobami. Ayobami is the angel of the day, and she's the one evaluating. She's the one who's deciding whether she wants to invest or otherwise.
I'm very, very sorry. I'm very, very sorry. I'm very, very sorry.
It's fine. I know that there's that lack of communication. I was just going to say that I suspect that that's the same Oluwapelumi who has dropped his details on the group, so we can engage him personally. I would also think I also read your materials on Substack. Yeah, I think you have a Substack blog, if that's the same person, and you put up. That's so good. So I would think that we should just move you to full-time land member so that we'll stop harassing you here. I think that's what we should do.
I'll be happy with that.
Good. So let's do that. But thank you for participating. Ayobami.
Yeah, thank you, Farouk. So I'll just ask a few questions. I've met Farouk before, and he sent me a message today. Actually, I'll just ask you a few questions.
Right.
So, what's your MRR first?
So right now, our MRR is at $607.
Okay. Okay, 600 what?
$607. Yes.
Okay, so we can go to the next because I know a bit about Farouk. I don't want to ask so many questions.
All right,
fantastic. So I also think that that's the approach to all the other guys. It's a speed pitch. So quickly. I like this one. So for example, I like Lena. I want to after now get into more conversations with it. So are you pitching for $1,000, Farouk? What would it do for you?
Yes.
So if you give me $100, I'll take anything at this point.
What would that do for the business? That's what the pitch is about.
Oh, okay, beautiful. So we have like a competition coming up in August, right? So we're looking for partners, say banks, so we can have like a bigger reach for people. Sorry, you can see my little cousins running up and down. Right, so we're having a competition coming up at August 31st. We're already partnering with CC Hub for Space. Frankly, we don't have money, right? But we're trying to like get partners to be able to make it a lot more publicized. So yes,
Lena is in the market now.
Yes, Lena is in the market. Been in the market since last year, September.
Get out of here. Yeah. So, all right, please let's move this event forward. We need to be mindful of time. But yeah, well
done. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Farouk. Thank you, Ayobami. The next person is we have Gifts of Majors Media Limited. Gifts, if you're still on the call, please, the floor is yours. Quickly, 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, Ms. Kanga. Okay, can you see my screen, please?
Yeah, we can. Your
Yes.
timer starts now.
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Gifford Benyon. I'm the founder of Majors Media. Okay, so first of all, Africa right now is the world's fastest growing economic region, 54 nations, growing at an average of 4% annually, according to the IMF, and also with a projected GDP of over $29 trillion by 2050. And yet, the continent don't have any intelligence infrastructure, no real-time data terminal, and also no authoritative African authored voice at institutional scale. We all know that Bloomberg serves Wall Street. We also know that Refinity, which is owned by the London Stock Exchange, serves London, but yet nobody serves Africa primarily. What we are doing at Majors Media is that we are Africa's knowledge infrastructure company, whereby we're building the economic intelligence for institutions that move capital across the continent. These include DFIs, include sovereign wealth funds, include central bank fund managers and asset managers also. And right now, we have three products as our solution regarding what we are building on Majors Media. The first is the Africa Economy Inc., which is our media and intelligence platform with over 35,000 institutional followers right now. And the second is the African Market Intelligence System, which is called AMIS. So what AMIS is all about is that it's our real-time African Market Intelligence terminal that you can track all various indices, stock market indicators, sovereign risk, capital flows across the continent. Also, we also have the intelligence brief, which is the Africa Economy Intelligence Brief, and it's a primary source macroeconomic indicator report, and also for DFI, sovereign wealth fund, and asset managers also. So all of these are our solution that we're building at Majors Media. So we have three products right now, and so far since the launch of the Majors Media on goodness. Okay, great. So since we launched the Africa Economic,
Is this man's time not up yet? All right.
Yeah, Mr. Gifts. Unfortunately, your time is up. Thank you so much for your presentation. Ma, do you have any feedback or questions?
So what problem? I didn't get the exact problem you're trying to solve.
Okay, we are building the Africa Economy Intelligence, whereby we are providing real-time market data on the continent, something similar with the Bloomberg terminal, but focused on the African market alone for the 54 nations.
So how are you better than Bloomberg to do this? Or any other?
Okay, right now, we all know that Bloomberg is a global company that serves different regions, the Gulf nations, North America, sorry, but they don't really primarily put focus on Africa. So what they do is that they provide real-time data for the globe in sovereign risk and also on capital flow across the continent or across the globe. But what we are doing at African Market Intelligence System is that we are primarily focused on Africa alone, our full focus on Africa, and also the fact that Bloomberg, you have to pay over $20,000 a year to access Bloomberg terminal, and we are trying to provide same value but at a cheaper rate.
So how are you supposed to make money from this?
Okay, how we're going to make money is through we have the subscription payment for the Africa Market Intelligence System, AMIS, and also the Africa Economic Intelligence Brief. But how we generate revenue so far is through sponsored content on Africa Economic Inc., which is our media and publication company.
So are you making money on it, or is just
Yes, we've started making money through sponsored content on Africa Economic Inc., which is our distribution layer on the company.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Gifts. Next, we have the last founder for today, Mr. Blessing, I believe. So Blessing runs a hyper local food delivery platform, and sir, the floor is yours for your 2 minutes pitch.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible enough?
Sorry?
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're
Okay.
audible. Maybe speak a
All
bit
right.
louder. Man.
Good evening. Sorry, I'm not able to share my pitch tape because I went to do a delivery now, but I'll just make it quick. My name is Blessing, and I'm building Boca Foods. So Boca Foods is a hyper local food delivery platform that gives the informal neighborhood, the informal neighborhood food vendors, a digital storefront that connects them with customers already living within 3 kilometers.
Mr. Blessing, please could you be a bit more audible and it sounds a bit more fierce?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, much better, much better.
Okay, sorry. I said I can't present my screen now because I want to do a delivery, but I just want to make it quick. I am building Boca Foods, so a hyper local food delivery service that gives the informal neighbor food vendors a free digital storefront that connects them with customers already living within their neighborhood. So, 70% of Nigeria's food consumed daily comes from these bookers, and they are not digital. They don't have delivery, they don't have any storefronts. And even our competitors, Chowdeck and Glovo, are not serving them. Because I have one customer that usually begs us to build our service faster so she can be there because she had been on Chowdeck for 2 months and got only 3 orders from them. So that's what we are coming in. So, and we started last month. We've had about 35 deliveries from just 4 vendors. We onboarded 35, but just 4 are patronizing us now because we don't have the capacity to reach and cater for the 35. Uh, so I'm starting with my community, and in my community we have about 130,000 people staying there. That's the total accessible market that are in my community. But the vendors that stayed that are cooking there about 600. My research is about 600. So if we can onboard the others, I believe we'll be able to get to about 300 to 500 deliveries per month. So if I'm pitching for the 1,000 investment, 1,000 investment, I would use it to build a website where these vendors can have a storefront and spend more on marketing because now we're running the whole stuff manually.
Thank you so much, Mr. Blessing. Mr. Blessing, the time is up. Any feedback or questions for Mr. Blessing of Booker Delivery?
Yes, so you say that some of this platform, they don't serve the local market or something. So when you say local market, is it people that, because I'm trying to understand what problem you are trying to solve. I didn't really get the exact problem. You're just comparing Chowdeck or something. So what exact problem are you trying to solve?
Okay, thank you. We are catering for the small everyday food vendors. That is the Yamoria, Yaisha within the streets of your neighborhoods. So these people, they don't have a delivery system and they don't have a platform where they can be discovered. It's costly
So
for
what
them
kind
to
of things do they sell? Are they people selling the small provision stores on the street or
no normal food like processed food that they've cooked? So the bookers, small bookers.
Okay.
Yes.
So have you started generating revenue by delivering this yet, or it's just
we've started making money, but it's not I would say it's not trackable yet because it's just like sporadic. We don't have a natural place to capture the whole demand yet. So
okay,
it's always,
but is it you that would put Yamoria's food business on the internet, or because Yamoria might have just a phone that she uses to make phone call, or is it the people that want to buy? I'm trying to understand the market and the need of this business.
okay. So let how we operate now is that do it manually. We have a sticker that we place in the Amoria shop, for example. So the customers that walk in Amoria's place, they pick our number from there. So when next they want to order food without ever going to the Amoria place, they reach out to the Amoria directly. Then the Amoria calls us, or they call us directly. We call the Amoria, then we go and pick up the food. So in terms of onboarding, if you have a website now, we would have to onboard the Amoria manually.
Okay, so are you in Lagos or you're outside of Lagos?
I'm in Lagos. I'm starting my community. I started my community back on the estate around the Sorrow.
Ishola, okay. Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Blessing. Thank you so much to all the founders who had pitched today. We're really grateful. Thank you so much, Ayobami, for your insightful questions and feedback. All right, we will take one last round of questions before we wrap up today. Mr. Alani, I know you've been looking to speak since. Sir, the floor is yours.
All right, good evening,
Good evening.
All right, good evening, everyone. So first of all, let me thank the Lagos Angel Network for putting this together. We really appreciate it. And then, Mr. Ayobami, we appreciate your time today. So I have two questions very quickly. My first question is, you said something about trust, and you said a founder, we have to, an investor, we have to trust the founder before they invest in them. So my question is, how do investors determine that a founder is trustworthy in 10 minutes or even less? Because most presentation is less than 10 minutes. And so I want to know what are the things they're actually, evaluating in those 10 minutes. My second question is around disagreement between investors and customers when they fundamentally disagree on the direction the company should go. So how should founder navigate around that, or who should they listen to? So that's my question. Thank you so very much, Dr.
Okay, thank you for your answers. So apart from them listening to you and asking you questions, there's something they call due diligence. They'll do some due diligence on your business. Anybody, before they drop money, even if I tell you that I'm picking somebody today, before I drop money for the person, I'm going to do some due diligence on the person's businesses, try to see what the person does. But for people, for like this thing, based on the way you answer the questions and all, sometimes you can see some gesture, and that's another feedback to everybody that presented today. The only person that put on his camera for me to see was Farouk. You need to allow people to see you even when you're presenting, because even your gestures, your postures and everything, they send some messages to your investors. So from that, they can pick the kind of personality you have based on that. But that does not mean that's the only reason why they would want to either fund you or not fund you. They will still do some due diligence and every other thing that will now make before they now drop the check or sign you a check. Then the second question, of customers or investors. Customers, they are king. But the thing is, if an investor is an experienced person and the person is giving you some insight, you need to listen to, because the person has more experience than you in that business. So I won't tell you to drop customers and listen to the investor, but even your customers, a lot of time, you're the one that will give you the customers what they need. Customers a lot of time don't even know what they actually need. If you create a product now, say this is the product I have, and this is what I'm saying, and this is what it's going to solve, you will get people to come and tell you, oh, this looks interesting. So sometimes they don't know what they actually need. But an investor, because of the kind of experience he or she has, might be telling you something from his or an insight or something that has happened to somebody before. So it's good for you to pay attention to your investors. Don't disregard investors because they're trying to make customers. Because at the end of the day, those people that have dropped funds, they want the business to also succeed. That's why they drop funds. Your customer can come today and go tomorrow. You can always get other customers. But don't disregard the advice of your investors while you also manage your customers' priority.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you so much, Ma. Mr. Chidera, the floor is yours.
All right. Good evening, everybody. I'm Chidera OMK, a co-founder of Encircle. So my question is regarding, I'm trying to raise around from an angel, but yeah, two angels, but one is proposing debt, meaning he wants to give a loan as against an investment. What would you advise? Should I go with debt for an angel investor, or I just keep the personal?
Yeah, so it depends. What are you trying to solve? Is debt going to solve your problem, or is it equity that will solve a problem? So it depends on what you're trying to solve and what's going to solve your problem. That is what will determine the kind of funding you're going to get.
Okay, so honestly, the money he wants to give us, we could easily clear it with debts. But I'm also concerned about long term. If we start with debt now, we take the money, we'll now start giving money out of the business very early. So that is just my own concern.
Yeah, just evaluate the business. If debt is going to, because an equity, that means you own a piece of your company. If he wants to give you debt and you that means you have to negotiate the amount of time that you are going to use in paying back. So you might not start paying him back immediately because it's not immediately you can pay back. You explain the terms and conditions for the debt, or if he's still willing to go for it, or if he can switch to equity. It's just a conversation.
All right, thank you very much, everybody.
All right, thank you so much, thank you, Chidera, for that question. All right, we would, because of our time, we would only be able to take one last question. I know Mr. Philip's hand has been up very well. So, Mr. Philip, to round us up for tonight, please, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you so much for the opportunity. I want to thank everyone, the organizers of this meeting. Madam Ayobami, thank you for that awesome presentation. My question is very quick, and I'm the founder of a creative tech platform called Jubao, basically connecting creative talents with clients that need your services. We actually started off by connecting clients with these creatives manually. As I've been in the creative industry for about 19, almost 20 years now. So I had done the business without the tech. However, 2 years ago, we began developing a tech platform to help scale what we're already doing organically. So that being said, usually when investors ask either through forms or in person, they usually ask questions like, are you pre-revenue or are you post-revenue? So within the context of my own startup and my own unique circumstance, as a tech-enabled platform, we are pre-revenue because we just finished, working on the infrastructure and we're going live in August. That's next month. So within that context, we are pre-revenue. However, we have been able to at least, get some business here and there, successfully connecting creators with clients successfully and gotten our cut out of it. So in this context, do you categorize a startup like mine as pre-revenue? Because sometimes there's that confusion for me. Some will argue, oh, you've made money, it's post-revenue. So I'm saying, oh, you're pushing a tech platform, it's pre-revenue. So what's your context and submission for such a circumstance, just for my advice? Thank you so much.
So in my opinion, the tech platform you are trying to build is to help scale the business you've been doing, right? Like making revenue. So it's the same business. It's not, or are you changing name or are you changing anything? What are you changing in
Not
business?
at all. Not at all. Same business. Same business.
I think it is post-revenue because you started generating revenue on the business. The only thing is they're trying to create a platform. So the fact that you are trying to put technology on top of it doesn't change the business model. The business model is the same. They're just making it easier for more people to access due to the technology. So for me, in my own opinion, it is post-revenue because you started making revenue on the business. And it's still the same customers that you have in that in the manual business, or what's it called, in the non-tech enabled business, that you're going to move to the tech platform, right? Or
yes, positive.
And you now get more customers on it. So it is post-revenue. It's very clear.
Okay, thanks for the feedback. Appreciate it.
All right, we have come to the end of our session. We're right on time. Thank you so much. Mr. Aki, Mr. Blessing, you can write your questions in the chat and we can forward that to Ms. Ayobami. But for today's session, we would unfortunately have to come to an end. Thank you so much, Mr. Chimezi. Thank you so much, Farouk. Thank you so much, Blessing. Thank you so much, Gift, for your presentation, particularly coming up on such short notice. We hope that today's session was insightful. To all the rest of us who have to participate, thank you so much for your questions, your contributions, for helping us solve our technical issues. Thank you. Ma, thank you so much, Ma. This meeting today would not have been possible without your participation, without you coming on board to give us such an insightful, very, very insightful presentation. We're extremely grateful here at the Land Secretariat, and our founders as well are also very grateful. We hope for much more opportunities like this to discuss where everybody can learn, connect, and grow. Thank you so much, Ma. So I don't know if you have a few words to share before we.
Thank you, Ora. Ayobami, I am grateful both on a professional note and also as my sister and friend. Thank you for making this happen. You killed it. Killed it, as in you nailed this meeting, and I'm super grateful. Thank you so much, Ayo. Thank you to all of our founders. Your participation, your engagement, the level of questions was really heartwarming, and I'm glad that we have such a thriving and robust startup community that is that of the Lagos Angels Network. Thank you all so much. Okoilu, Olarinwaju, your hand is still up. We can't take any further questions now, but this is just us saying thank you. I'd like to thank the team, Ore, Joseph, Bolaji, and maybe Chidima if she's somewhere here. Thank you all. These conversations have not ended. Let's go back into the group and keep the conversations going. Let's tweet, repost, or say things around it on the Lagos Angel Network group, and of course on your own personal pages, talking points, the things that you thought stood out. Let's just keep the conversation going. Finally, it will be good for you to invite other founders and friends to such meetings like this. The Ask an Angel program that we created was created for real truth. Ayobami is an angel. She's not working for another person. So not VC fluff or those kind of, this is the person that wants to give you money, telling you how they feel about it, and we will be bringing different people from different industries, different experiences to strengthen the work that we're doing. I think that the better person to provide value in terms of support for startups is usually the angels. They're closest to you. They have money in the business like you. They don't want it to fail, and so they're really very passionate about it. Like I mentioned earlier, I'd like to say thank you to all our angels who came through. I also wanted to personally apologize to Mr. Olanipekun, I think that's his name, the gentleman earlier. Oluwapelumi, I'm not sure if I have the name right, the one we spoke about.
Yeah, Pelumi.
Pelumi, okay. There was no intention to embarrass you or make you feel uncomfortable. I just needed us to follow the structure of the event so that it doesn't turn out rowdy. We would also follow up with you to ensure that you become a proper land angel, and then we can then invite you, like we invited Ayobami, to then have the floor with the founders. Without extending this conversation any further, thank you all for coming through. See you in the group. I know that some of you know that I'm in there. Great. Some of you know that I'm in there. So I'm a founder in that group also. You people should know that me too, I'm a founder. All right, let's have a brilliant evening. All right, over to you.
All right, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Ayobami. I would say have a very good weekend. Good night, everyone. Thank you.